and they're going to leave a review about how, they didn't get all of this and this and this that you advertise, but they don't mention that they only paid $2 for the massage. Does this man think I don't have anything better to do than to rub on him? What I want to do is look at this schedule and say, oh my God, I got to deal with her today. Love you guys and welcome to another video. So I have my notes here, of course, and today we're going to be talking about, first we'll talk about Groupon, and then at the bottom of this video, like after we finish talking about Groupon, we're going to talk about ignoring clients and blocking clients. I'll leave for you guys the timestamp on the screen of how you can get to that portion of the video if that's what you're interested in. But without further ado, let's get started. Okay. So I do have a video of where I talked very briefly about Groupon and how annoyed I was with the situation, because I was actively annoyed. But I want to talk to you guys about my other experiences with Groupon and exactly why I don't think it's the best platform for you to use. All right, so a new subscriber asked, what about Groupon? Okay, and I'm going to tell you about Groupon. So I have my notes right here, and let's get straight into why Groupon is a miss. Okay, it's a miss. One was the misunderstanding with booking. So there was a certain platform that I use. Now, if you don't have a booking platform already set up, maybe this won't be as big of an issue for you, but trying to merge the schedule that you already have with the schedule that the people, your clients from Groupon are trying to book with might not mesh together, might cause some confusion. And you know what happens when confusion is caused? There goes your rating. There goes your review. She wasn't on time. She was late. There was a lot of misunderstanding as far as booking was concerned and how do you book. It wasn't very clear and concise. And if you go on Groupon right now and you look for a service to book, it's kind of confusing as to how do I redeem this. So Groupon didn't really do a good job at explaining it to the customer. How do they redeem your services? Even though I remember talking about it with my representative, they didn't do a good job of explaining how it is that they get the service. And that's kind of left up to you. So if you have time for all that, I'm just informing you, okay? The next thing was I don't book over the phone. And I'll get at the bottom of this video, you'll know exactly why I switched the method of how I book clients. I don't do over the phone bookings. So that was kind of, people could call, they could text, but at the end of the day, it's random numbers, it's random people. You really don't know. You just don't know. And Groupon didn't really do a good job of letting you know what's going on. The next thing I put was the setup was confusing. It was confusing as to how to get the campaign running. It was confusing as to what kind of wording that needed to be incorporated in your, what do they call it? Campaign. It was confusing to get what kind of wording needs to be in your campaign, what kind of refunds you could accept. The terms and things, they just weren't very clear and concise. It was very confusing. And if Groupon is telling someone one thing and then you're saying another, that can mess with your reviews. And in this business, your reviews is your business. Okay. So this is, I don't like to call people cheap because some people are just simply deal seekers. However, we know massage is a lot of work. And even if you're not doing massage, even if you're doing another service, I would assume that you're putting a lot into the service. You don't want to be discounted. You also don't want clients that are only looking for you when you have a discount. And massage can very well be one of those places. Someone will pass up on you who gives an excellent massage and go to someone who's cheaper just because they're just a cheap person. And you don't want that kind of clientele. There's a space that you can go. Like there's a space that you can create. There's a space that exists that is outside of people who are just looking for discount massages. And I would recommend you search for your clientele outside of that space and not get tied up into giving out free services, giving out discount services. Like I always say, if you have to get if you have to work part-time doing something else that you love to do until you can build your clientele up to a place where you're satisfied with it and you're not burnt out because you're accepting lower than what it is that you know that you deserve, then do that. But don't sit here and gain and, acquire all these clients that are just cheap. They're cheap. And the moment you say, you know what, I'm raising my price $10, they're out of the door anyway, and you are having to do this same process that you could have did in the beginning, that was build clientele who are willing to pay. Okay, and this is the last, and this is enough. It's enough for it to be the last. I never got paid. So I will show you guys a screenshot of all of the, I guess, the campaign, like how many people saw the campaign, how many people bought from the campaign that I saw. And mind you, my in-suite prices were already very reasonable. They were already, discounted prices, because I was in the mindset of, I don't want people to pay all this money for massage. I want the average person to be able to afford my massage. And no, it just didn't work out that way. So my prices are already discounted, and Groupon slashed those prices in half, and sometimes even more than slashed those prices in half. Sometimes I think one massage was like $15. Are you kidding me? And on top of it being so discounted, so cheap, I never got paid. I still have not received any money from Groupon. I believe something happened with the deposit. Maybe I put the wrong account number. I don't know. I went back in to check it. It looked like my information was right, but I never received the payment. And then if the person on the other side cancels it, or all they have to do, you guys see the stories all the time. All the customer has to do is be like, I never got this and I never got that, even though you redeemed their coupon, even though they redeemed their thing, and you don't get your money. So I've never gotten paid from Groupon. They tried to pay out one payment, and then I went back in and they said it was voided. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not about to wrestle and tussle behind $18. So I did not. But that is definitely something to consider. And on top of not getting paid, you don't get paid. So let's say normally you do a massage. After your massage, you're getting paid. So if you was looking forward to that appointment to pay your suite rent, here you are getting paid after the appointment. Well, Groupon, I don't know their pay system because I've never gotten paid by them, but it's not directly after the massage, after you've redeemed this ticket. It's not then. It's a little later, like way later. I'm going to go ahead and say they pay once a month, and I might be wrong in that. If I am and I find other information, I'll definitely put it on the screen for you guys, but it's not a quickly turning out event. Okay. So, and another thing was, you need to still provide the same service. So let's say this is $100 massage, right? And Groupon did so many slashes, dashes, and deals that you only get paid $30 for the service. Okay. Let's say $25, $30 sounds like a lot for Groupon. Let's say you only get paid $25 for the service. For the service that was once $100, you still have to provide $100 service. And as you should, when you're doing discounts and things like that, you shouldn't give people, discount services just because they pay a discounted rate. However, if you're acquiring all of these clients from Groupon and everybody's paying you a discounted rate, you're going to get tired. Like, you're going to get mentally burnt out and just burnt out. Like, I'm doing all this work and I've only gotten paid $25 just enough to pay my suite rent. At the end of it, you still have to give them $100 service, because you know what they're going to do? They're going to go in there on Groupon and they're going to leave a review about how, they didn't get all of this and this and this that you advertise, but they don't mention that they only paid $2 for the massage. Okay, so there's that. Now I tried to search, like I really tried to dig for a pro. And the only thing that I found that could possibly be a pro was free advertising. And then I was like, okay, what about free advertising as a pro? And then I really thought, and it's really not a pro. Like, yeah, it can be a pro that you get your name out there, you get free advertising. People that didn't know where your location was, they find you. That is great. But it's still a certain type of clientele that will pass over Google, that will pass over Instagram, that will pass over Vagaro, that will pass over Mind and Body, that will pass over all these other methods to search for a service, to go on Groupon and find something on the low. Because people don't necessarily go on Groupon to look for quality service. They look for things that are discounted. So yes, you do get free advertising, but who are you advertising to? Is the question. Okay. So let's move on into this very juicy part of the video. This portion of the video is going to include a lot of stories, because I feel like it's the best way to let you guys know, like, what kind of scenarios would you need to ignore or block someone, because that doesn't sound very relaxing. That doesn't sound very customer oriented. Now, does it? But it does need to happen. I have a view about when to say no as far as safety reasons and things like that. I will most definitely link that above for you guys because safety is paramount. It is most important. Okay. And don't you get so caught up in making money and being this stellar massage therapist and being this go all do all kind of girl or guy that you forget that your safety is of the utmost importance. Okay. So why do you need to ignore a client? I don't know about you, okay? But I do know about me, and I cannot stand when people feel like you owe them something. Like, you didn't help to pay for my license. You didn't help to pay for my schooling. And nothing about me being a massage therapist was derived from something that you have given me. So to think that I need to be at your beck and call, I get it. Some people are money crazy. And a lot of people, because a lot of people are money crazy, some people think that they can just do anything and tell you anything and just be any kind of way and just request your service. Like they think they have an on-call massage therapist just right in their back pocket. Sometimes you need to ignore people. I remember I was driving one time, so I had on the back of my car, I had, my sign. I was excited. It was new. It was, I had my information on there, I had my website, and I'm driving to pick up my daughter, and I see a message on my phone. Now, I just so happened to be looking out of my rearview mirror, and I could see the guy looking at my window, and then I could see him texting. And I look at my phone, and the message says like, how much for a massage, something about massage, and then he kind of went off into like a freaky tangent really quickly before I could even respond. Now I'm watching the car in the back of me, and I noticed that he then tries to duck and dodge, in and out of the traffic and tried to hide from me, right? So I knew who it was. Now I could have engaged in this conversation with him, I got your license plate number and I'll call the authorities on you and do all this and that, but you know what? I didn't do that. I blocked him once I got to my destination, and that was it. But you can find yourself in situations where you are just made uncomfortable and made anxious because people are just foolish. Sometimes people are foolish. I had a situation where when I closed down my suite, one of the girls, she bothered me. She would make other profiles. She made other numbers, just trying to get me to become her massage therapist. And I said, no. She got it all twisted. I've even tried to give people like referrals to other people. And some people just want you to do the service because they just like you. And I do understand that, but just liking me and respecting the fact that I'm choosing not to do in-suite massage at this time. And if I choose not to do mobile massage, if I say no to giving you a massage, there is a reason behind it. So some people just have a hard time respecting and accepting the boundaries that you set up, and you simply just need to ignore them. You need to block them for your call list. If you're the type of person who cannot just ignore messages, you need to, block people. And I'm just going to warn you that in blocking people, sometimes people get butt hurt, sometimes their feelings get hurt, and sometimes other scenarios arise. And we're going to talk a little bit about those as we go into like blocking clients. Okay. So why would you need to block a client? Okay, so what I have chosen to do for this portion of the video is to get my style seat up here, because style seat, one of the reasons I love it, it allows you to block clients. And when the client is blocked, what they don't see, they still see your services. It doesn't just pop up and say you've been blocked. It doesn't do that. You do give style seat a reason why the client has been blocked, but the client isn't able to see that. And they're just blocked. They can't see your calendar. They're unable to book an appointment. And I'm just going to go through my little block list. I didn't have to block that many people because I really don't play with people like that. I am very professional, and we want to keep things very professional. And if you are not able to book a service from me, 9 out of 10 times, you know why up front. But sometimes you just don't want to get into all that, and you just want to move on. So I'm just going to go through. I'm not going to say anyone's names, but I'm just going to go through so I can recall why the person got blocked, and then we're going to talk about it. Okay, so first up on my block list, this young lady decides that she wants to make an appointment for her boyfriend. She made an appointment for her boyfriend using her card. Like I said, Style C holds $1 off of the card. Okay, so if you a scammer, you know how to get around all of that. But that's just, Style C held the $1 off her card. She came in, she set up an appointment for her boyfriend, and then she left. Well, he was the one who was getting the appointment. So I gave him his massage. He checked out. Everything was well. But my money wasn't well. I guess I assumed that she was going to pay for it. He assumed that she was going to pay for it. It didn't get paid for. So I sent her a message saying, hey, I didn't get the service paid for. And it was a new client special. It was only $40. I didn't get the service paid for, and she didn't respond. So I waited. And you know, I'm the type of person, I'm not going to argue with you about money. I think it's ridiculous. I believe that if you have the time to be scamming and conning people out of money, that's just you. Like, okay, you'll never be able to book another massage with me, and you won't find another therapist who is me around here. I'm just saying, like, that's just my thought process. And that's not, you know, being boastful. I'm just saying, like, I know when you scheduled this appointment, even though it was $40, I came in here with my all, and you think that you're going to scam me, good luck with that. So I wasn't going to argue. And it was like a week later, I was talking to my husband about it, and I said, I'm going to message the guy because maybe he wanted to rebook an appointment and he didn't know that she didn't pay for the service. So I sent him a message, you know, clearing out my books for the week. I was like, hey, just want to let you know that you still have a balance on your account. And he was like, what? What do you mean? And he was like, okay, wait a second. And he said, I'll get it taken care of. And next thing you know, she's calling me saying, oh, I didn't know that the massage wasn't paid for. And I'm like, I let her know. Okay, I didn't respond to that message. I let him pay for the massage, and I blocked both him and her. Okay, so neither one of them. You won't be able to con me again. And I get that you paid your balance, but this ain't the credit card company. And even though you paid your balance, you still ain't getting another appointment. Okay? All right, so that's a situation like that. So people scamming you, you know, just pulling out that con artistry. There definitely are people who need to be blocked. I would not sit and go back and forth with people like that because sometimes they come up with scenario. You know, narcissistic people, you know, the foolishness that goes on. Sometimes they come up with scenarios that actually make you uncomfortable and you've done nothing wrong. Don't argue with them, just block them. All right, let's move on to the next blocked. The next person who got blocked. Like I said, I don't have many of them. Some of these people on here need to be blocked, but like this lady, she got blocked by association because I blocked another lady who was a friend of hers. Okay, so this guy got blocked. So he came in via Stoucy. He was one of those clients that Stoucy recommended to me. So I already got, you know, percentage of my services cut because it was his first appointment. And after the massage, he says, oh, I didn't know that was going to be so good. Could I add, you know, 60 more? I think it was 90. He was like, can I add 90 minutes on? And I'm like, does this man think I don't have anything better to do than to rub on him? So I said, okay, no, you can't. And I didn't have anything to do after. But I don't do that. I don't do these on the spot booking of clients because it always... Not always, but sometimes it translates itself into these inappropriate relationships between the client and the therapist. So I never want to make room for that. Like, I don't know what kind of massage fix you think you're getting. I just don't know. So you need to book in advance. Okay. So, excuse me. Yeah, he got off the table, he rebooked, and he rebooked for like 3 days later. I did think it was weird, but when he came back in, then the more he came in, the more he started to ask questions like, is this clean? Is this face, you know, is this face cradle clean? And I'm thinking to myself, is he kidding me? Okay, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna find another therapist because you're not gonna stress me out. You're not. When I look at my schedule, and I think about my day, the last thing I want to do is look at this schedule and say, oh my God, oh, I got to deal with her today. She booked today. I got to get my mind space together. If a client is starting to make you feel like that, it's time to move on. It's time to block them. Okay, so he was, you know, he was doing one of those situations and I wasn't here for it. So then this next lady, and then we're going to move on because she's actually on here twice. Oh no, we're not going to move on because I got another one I want to talk about. Okay, so this lady's on here twice because she made 2 profiles. So she got blocked one time. She said, yeah, something was wrong with my profile. You know, it wasn't read my card or something like that. And I was just trying to see if I was still recording. So she said, something's wrong with my profile. You know, it wouldn't read my card or something. And I'm thinking to myself, it's because I blocked you. So I knew early on that she was a client that needed to be blocked. However, she was when I had first started, like I had just opened, my license hadn't quite gotten the mail yet. So I was being client hungry. Client hungry. Oh, I'm so excited to have a new client. And it's a no. Sometimes they're bad clients. She would come in. First of all, she booked an appointment sometimes 2 times a week. It was definitely getting weird. Then she started to talk to me during the massage. I don't like to talk in massage. I'm not here for you to counsel me, So she started to talk during the massage. Then she started to make special requests. Like can you right here, like just do ooh. And then she started moaning during the massage. I'm like, it was an older lady. It wasn't even a man. It was an older lady moaning during the massage, just trying to tell me, ooh, that feels so good. And I don't like stuff like that. I am not here to be your personal, I'm just not that. Get you a man for that. But that's not who I am. And then when I just kind of tried to nicely block her, you know what she started to do? This lady FaceTimed me. She would call my phone all day long. And it just started to get weird. Like, the times that I did let her in, she just didn't know her position. I had moved to another location and she just kind of bombarded in my suite. And I'm like, honey, this ain't your friend spot. Like, I'm paying the bills in here, okay? So you're gonna have to. She just felt like I was hers, and she made a few comments to the other lady saying like, "Oh, what does she mean that she's not available to give me a massage today?" Like, she really started to pretend like I belonged to her, like I was her massage therapist, and it became weird. And I can honestly say that if I was still giving her massage to this day, there would be some type of inappropriate relationship. And when I say inappropriate, I don't mean like sexually inappropriate. I mean inappropriate where I have slipped out of the position as the professional and I have become your lapdog, okay? And I'm not able to tell you no to certain things. Like it's a mental, y'all know I'm really big on the mental health and things like that. It's a mental space that you allow someone in, counter transference and transference, that you allow someone in and they're able to get a grasp on you and do things that wouldn't normally be able to be done. It's inappropriate. So I definitely had to cut her off. My spirit was just saying, girl, you better do it now. And I had to do it. So let's move on. Now, this is the last lady that I'm going to talk about. She came in via a recommendation, and 2 of these ladies on the block list came in via recommendations, which is why I would recommend you build your own clients and don't take clients from a person that already gets on your nerves. I'm just gonna say that. Don't take, if like this lady that we just finished talking about, there's no way that I would take someone who was referred to me by her, because I know they will be of the same nature. You guys are sitting around talking about, oh yeah, girl, she give a good massage. There's no way that I would take someone who was referred, and use discernment in choosing. I'm just giving examples, but people saying, oh yeah, girl, it's only $40. Like, no, we ain't taking them kind of clients. We're going to build our own clientele. Like I said, if you have to figure out something else to do while you build your clientele authentically, and just build a clientele that you are proud to be able to service. Ultimately, I want to service clients in my house, but guess what? There's a special group. I'm not just going to bring any of that foolishness into my home. I'm building clientele, a certain clientele that I am comfortable enough to let you into a different space. You know what I mean? So anyway, so this lady, she was referred to me by another client, and she was referred to me by an influencer. So she found me via influencer, big influencer here on YouTube. I'm not going to say the name. You can go through my channel. You can find that video and you would probably figure out who exactly it is. She came in and she was very scared and squeamish. And sometimes that happens. Sometimes people hear about how good your massage is. They want to test it out for yourself. They don't know you as a person. So I never take any of that, I never wear any of that. If you're uncomfortable, it's your first time getting a massage, you're uncomfortable. She ended up liking the massage and she turned around and she wanted to book again. Now, the first time she booked the service with me, she almost spent $200, okay? So she booked a lot of appointments. The next time she booked with me, she booked a lot of appointments. The third time she booked with me, I left with washing powder and toilet paper. And my husband said, oh, how'd you get that? And there's nothing wrong with bartering. And the truth is, I could have just said no, but I don't like to make people feel uncomfortable. And I was really excited about it at the time. But when I came home and I realized I just gave $150 service, all these extra add-ons, some of the services that I show you guys here, like the body scrub, I gave all these extra services, and honey, I'm leaving with what I had at home, and that's some washing powder. And that's up to you. I just didn't like a client to place me in the position to feel uncomfortable about my services, about me as a therapist, about the position that I was in. And those kind of people in my eyes need to be blocked. Now, she did go on to do some other stuff. Like, she would keep canceling her appointments, keep switching up her appointments at the last minute, and not canceling them via my style seat, because that's how you get charged, but canceling via like sending me messages. And that is a way that someone could get blocked. So I say, now you make up whatever number you want to make up. If you switch your appointment 2 times, I'm looking at you. If you do it a 3rd time, there's no way you're going to be able to book another appointment. I'm not doing these last minute cancellations, wasting my time, wasting your time, wasting our time. Go to Massage Heights, go to Massage Envy, go to Massage Franchise, where they could care less if you cancel and reschedule however many times. Go there. So with that being said, you're going to say, Tanzania, well, I block someone, and what do I say to them? Because sometimes I know we like to be this like, oh, I don't have to tell her nothing. Like, I don't have to say nothing to her. She blocked. But there is a way to be professional. And I would recommend that you remain professional at all times, especially when you're dealing with these narcissistic foolishness. Okay, these narcissistic foolish people. You need to be professional. I would recommend that you pull up the notes section on your phone and you type out something that will suffice for you as far as what do I send when I'm in this little sticky situation of blocking someone. This is one of the reasons. This is really the main reason that I switched to not booking clients over the phone. I really only book clients via my booking site and verified clientele via texting. And that is because it gives me a chance to, do I want to take this appointment? Can I take this appointment? And not be pressured in by people's words, because you know how people are. By being pressured in by people's words, doing something that you really don't want to do, being a part of something that you really don't want to be a part of. That's why I switched to texting primarily. It gives me the opportunity to block people and just to kind of sift through things. Like I said, I only accept verified clientele at the moment, so it doesn't really matter because I don't answer random text messages. But that's how I got to this place. So a little text message you can send out, and I just kind of played around with it. I definitely had to send out a message, especially to that lady who thought I was her therapist. Oh, here it is. I apologize that I'll no longer be able to service you as my client. And then you can kind of go into a spew like that. You can change up the words. Like I always say, use discernment in deciphering who it is that you can tell this to, and just, be kind. Don't be harsh. Don't be rude to people, even when you're blocking them. Like, even if they've ripped you off, there's no reason for you to be harsh or rude. I would not suggest doing that. Remain professional and remain kind, because sometimes people really don't understand how they're wrong. But it's not always up to you to explain it. Okay. All right. My goal as a therapist is to keep both you and I safe. It's some terminology that you can use. I put business and personal boundaries are essential for both your safety and mine. And here are some locations that I feel meet your needs. Now, when you are saying something like that, which I absolutely have used before, when you're saying, here's some locations that will meet your needs, the one thing that I suggest is you refer them to a massage franchise. If they have given you a hard time as a therapist, don't you go recommending them to other therapists. Don't do that. Unless you've talked to the therapist specifically and you feel like the therapist can get them together, or if the therapist is the money, it's by my money. Are they paying? If they're one of those therapists, of course, recommend them to them. But I would suggest recommend them to a franchise. That way you've got your recommendation out of the way. It's not like you're just pushing them over. I don't want to give you a massage. I don't care if you give me a massage. You're still recommending them to a place. And if they like it or not, that's kind of their business. But also with massage franchise, they're able to sift through that. And, they have a different level of backing and covering that you as an independent therapist do not have. So I would definitely recommend that route. Like, I actually had to tell someone this. Here, I actually gave them the number to the school. Here's the school. I'm sure she has some great recommendations for you. And then I blocked her. So I don't know if she ever found the recommendations. It's not that I don't care. It's just not my business. Every battle is not yours to fight, in business. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it wasn't too long-winded. If you have any questions, as always, ask a question and stay tuned for the next video.